So I want to quickly go over the GameStop chart. And the reason I've been looking so heavily into this one is because one of the things is that I like to try to find plays that are not so expensive to get into, like with the premium, that could have a massive move and that could be a damn good, set of profit. Because if you've been keeping up with GameStop or any of the posts that I made, depending on where you're seeing it, GameStop had a nice little move up because they were talking about investing in Bitcoin. And one of the things that we know since the election, since the inauguration, of course, but mostly the election, we have seen a massive spike in Bitcoin. Any company that's been talking about investing in Bitcoin or investing in crypto or getting some sort of involvement in crypto, stocks have shot up, okay? And so one of the things too, just to keep in mind, make sure GameStop, not using that as we're anticipating it, but they don't actually follow through with it. And they just kind of wanted to get, some movement going on that chart. I don't know, but it's just something worth to watch because I've been holding Bitcoin since GameStop, since it was a few dollars. I got like a bunch of free shares from Robinhood. So I never actually had to buy them. And I've been holding for a long ass time. And when that whole roaring kitty thing happened and it shot up, unfortunately, Robinhood played the hell out of me. And I could not get in, I couldn't sell when it was at its highest. It was like down 50%, 60% by the time I was able to sell off. So I still kept some of them. And I saw that movement taking place the other day. And so I want to go over it with you guys really quickly to show you where I'm potentially looking for entry for a long out play. I'm talking 3 to 6 months expiration time, okay? Where I'm looking to get in and where I'm potentially looking to exit, okay? So what I'm looking at right now, so this right here, you have a little gap right here, okay? This is on the 1 minute time frame. So we closed out at $27 even on Friday, okay? So what I'm going to do is I want to look at the daily time frame, okay? Remember, the longer you're looking to go into a play or stay in a play, the best thing to do is go to higher time frame and get as much data as possible to give you the best entry and the best exits for your play. All right, so we're gonna go to the 1 day and let's see. Now the levels, I had my chart marked up on Webull, but I'm gonna come over here to trading views simply because of how my chart is set up over here. So the first thing that I'm looking at here, you guys see this little top? Now, I know we got them tops up there, but of course, before we can get back to those tops, we got to break through another level. And remember, if you don't know, when it comes to time frames, okay, each candle represents that time frame. So this is over the course of 1 day. 1 candle equals 1 day. On the 5 minute time frame, 1 candle equals 5 minutes, okay? So we're on the daily time frame because I need the maximum data of price history to give me an idea of how to go about this thing if I'm planning on holding for 3 to 6 months, or if I stay in it that long. It may not take that long to hit my levels, but the important thing is having time on your side when you're in these type of plays, okay? So I'm going to put this here in red. You guys see this little top here? I'm going to put that in red because this is going to represent a level of resistance that I'm looking at for a potential bounce. Now, it's not this level here exactly. And what I mean by that is because when I went further to the left on the charts, it showed me that there was some break above that 34.44 level, okay? So because there was a little break, like right up in here, let me go over. I'm going to show you guys what I mean, okay? This is why this is going to be a few things that I'm looking at actually. I'm going to try to get it in without cramming too much in this video. But this little level, we're going to go back over here further to the left. And you guys kind of see how we got some little pieces a little bit above that, right up in this zone, that red line here, and a little bit further up, okay, is where I'm going to be looking at for a potential exit. But I'm going to show you guys the other thing that I'm looking at, okay? So we got bounces like up in here. We got touches or we got attempts right up in that little bit zone, okay? Now, let me go back over and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm looking at here. First off, if you haven't caught it, the minute this chart, this one day time frame came up, is the head and shoulders that's up in here. We got the shoulder, we got that head, and we got another shoulder here. This little piece here is showing us a head and shoulder pattern, okay? So if you didn't catch that or you don't know what that looks like, highly recommend you look into it and get an understanding of it, okay? So I want you to do that. So I don't want to try to cram too much, okay? So this little zone here is what I'm looking at as my potential exit. Now, you guys know what a double top or a double bottom is. You got this level here. See how it pushed up? It didn't break, it bounced down, and this is what I'm looking to see happen. If we cannot get back below this level, at least below this 24 level here, if we can get down here, we can make the way, we can open the door to make our way back down to these levels. And what I'm looking for is between this little piece here, okay, as a support level for a potential bounce. And I'm going to put that in yellow. Let's just put it in yellow. And we're going to put that here, okay? So between here and then I'm going to add another of what I'm looking at. It's like right up in this little zone is where I'm trying to see if GameStop can get back down to for my entry to ride it back up to where these red lines are, okay? So you guys see my range that I'm working with. If it does not pull back down here, I'm looking for it to, because you guys see how we came up, we got here, you can see how it pushed back up right there. This could possibly be where the next leg of this potential double top take place. So if we bounce on this $34 level or right up in here, we could be making our way back down. So I would enter up there, hold it, and remember, this is over the course of some days, so that means that this could take time to actually get up there and make that bounce, okay? Same thing with coming down and potentially making that bounce, all right? So this isn't a quickie in and out play. So we push up here, we come down here, and we're currently here now. So we just come working our way up, get back to $34 whenever that take place, and we see what happens. And if it bounces, and if it cannot get over this level and this little range right here, I'm going to look at that for my potential entry to ride it down instead of up. But if the opposite takes place and we make it down here and it hits that $18, $19 level that I want to enter in, then I'm going to enter and I'm going to ride it back up instead of down, okay? So we have two ways to play this thing if you're willing to hold it. And I'm looking to do between 10 to 20 contracts. That allows me to get some profits as we making our way up, sell about 5 contracts and maybe 10 contracts. Let it ride up some more or ride back down, and I just keep selling it as we hit levels that, okay, that's a resistance level that we may want to kind of take some profits to see if it break, and we just keep doing it like that, okay? So keep those levels on your radar. Keep GameStop on your radar. Keep that news, that their Bitcoin news, how they're actually looking to get involved and how this thing is going to go. And for the last thing that I want to bring to you guys' attention is they have earnings coming up on March 25th. March 26th on a Wednesday. Okay, so that's another thing too, holding it 3 to 6 months out to kind of see. Just let me just say this: do not play on earnings too often, because that good earnings does not always result in a spike up, and bad earnings don't always result in a spike down. You just never know. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're going to be doing any play with GameStop when earnings take place. But yeah, those are just some levels that I want you guys to kind of keep. Those are the levels that I'm watching. This little zone down here and a potential bounce here. But if we break this little zone, we could be making our way up to these little spikes here, those little tops there, and we can kind of see where this thing go and if it can make its way back up. But we gotta break some more barriers before we can start seeing this up here and then this little top up here. So keep GameStop news whatever news app you use, and just keep looking into them to see what they do. Low risk play. You don't have to have too much premium to get into a decent position, and don't have to go too far out of the money to actually have a nice little entry up in there, like $50 maybe, depending on how you want to play it. Some little positions are even lower where you don't have to go too far out of the money. So keep it on your radar. And watch and see how this plays out. And just remember that this is a long play and not a quickie in and out.